You're 4 games into the season when you have some chatter in the locker room already. Is there a disconnect between those coaches and those players in the locker room?
It's a red flag for me. You look over the course of the past 2 years, really the heart and soul of why Notre Dame had success the last couple of years was not really what was done offensively. When you lose a coordinator, that's a big deal. It's a big deal. And I don't know if that was maybe, played out to forward-facing Notre Dame fans, was what that really means to the identity of the team. Certainly losing a couple of guys on the defensive side, but not a ton. I mean, not enough to say, man, this is a rebuilding year.
They've struggled against stopping the run. Arkansas's defense has. And then when you have 2 running backs like Notre Dame has and their ability to really control a game, I think this is one of those spots where you can fully expect Notre Dame to take advantage there.
When you run the ball, you control the game, you control the clock. You actually, when you can consistently run the football against the defense, you take away their manhood. I mean, you break their heart.
I cannot stress enough the value of having running backs and an offensive line that's able to come off the ball. When you see a guy, put their hand in the dirt and they're coming off the ball, the offensive linemen love that. They love that. They love to be the hammer and not the nail.
Once they start bringing guys up, that's a perfect time to hit Malachi Fields on another post, or maybe Jane Greathouse on a slot fade, because it's been a while since we've really seen him be a big part of this game plan. But I'm sure that Arkansas's entire defensive game plan is going to be about stopping those guys. And, I don't think they will. And when they really get aggressive trying to stop them, Notre Dame definitely has the tools on the outside to beat them over the top.
I think it's a different year and a different mentality here, where this offense is going to have to put up 30, 40, 50 points to compete against some of these offenses as we get deeper into the season.
Teams are moving the ball.
Yep.
They are
and that's
the ball.
Vahid, what I always usually like to do, watch the first couple of drives and see who's controlling the line of scrimmage. And it's pretty clear, all 3 games, Notre Dame's defensive line really has not won clear out consistently. If my football IQ and knowledge has taught me anything, usually if that's what you're seeing now, it's not going to be like a flip of the switch and it goes from night to day, right? It isn't from dark to light. There may be a little gradual improvement, but it's not like all of a sudden there's just a flip that switched and, the defense is playing at the level they played last year.
Well, Vahid, we've both had the opportunity to now do a podcast with former Notre Dame football players. Mine is new this season, the Locked On Irish Squad show featuring Irish legends Reggie Brooks and Alan Pinkett. But you've been doing yours, the Varsity Brews podcast, love the name, by the way, for a couple of years now with former Notre Dame quarterback Evan Sharpley. And I loved the point that he made. He said this offense is going to be having to score 30, 40, 50 points a game. And I think that is 100% true. And we talked about this off camera that, in years past, the defense was the one that you relied on, that you knew was going to win the game, and they were the ones that took that pressure and took it really off of the offense while Riley Leonard and that offense were trying to figure it out. And now it's sort of the opposite. And you've got a young C.J. Carr, but you've got 2 of the best running backs in the nation. You have a wide receiver room that's really growing and developing, and they are putting up huge numbers. That's something for me that I'm actually not concerned about this week. I think they are going to put big numbers up once again.
If they control the line of scrimmage. I think that is going to be the big key, right? Can you control the line of scrimmage? Evan touched on that as well, and I thought it was a really good point. In those first 3 games, they were getting pushed around in some of the contest. Even against Purdue, they were getting pushed around. Opponents are pushing the ball down the field, and it's right now, it's like we have this bend but don't break defense mentality. And I don't love that because it puts pressure on your offense every time to score. And that's where I get a little weary, is when that offense needs to score every time down the field. That really puts the pressure on. And we've seen it. Florida State last night, they lost. You can't rely on the offense to get it done every single time. You got to have some defense. So I do think they're going to improve. I do think this is the week if they're going to try and do something. But run the ball. Trust your offensive linemen and run the ball this week.
And Notre Dame's defense has been pretty good against the run, stopping the run, and that is a weakness on this team. Of course, Taylon Green, the quarterback, we are going to talk a lot about him today, and you're going to hear a lot about him during the broadcast because he is so good as a dual threat, and that is going to be their biggest challenge, is containing him.